Oh, hi.
You caught her. Welcome back to Soul to Soul Travels, and today, what are we talking about?
We are talking about the 5 most difficult things that we encountered as Americans moving to the Netherlands.
Wow, that was a mouthful.
What do you have?
I have 5 things we found the most difficult to adjust to moving to the Netherlands.
And that was a mouthful as well. We both have notes. They may differ.
Mileage may vary on this one. So you want to know what they are? Stay tuned next on Soul to Soul Travels. All right, so when we first came to the Netherlands, there were obviously some adjustments that needed to be made. And what Tammy and I did the other day was we sat down and we said, what were some of the most difficult things that we found adjusting to when we first got here? Mm-hmm. And we compiled our list, and I think it's a fair list. And
yeah, it's a fair list. It's five things.
5 things. One of them, still a challenge. Just still a challenge. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and jump into the list. Your mileage may vary on this. I don't know.
This is just our experience and what we found difficult.
Exactly. And quite honestly, I believe you might find it a little bit difficult too. That's why we're doing this video. So let's move on. Let's see what the first thing is. And it's a biggie. All right, so number 1 on the list.
Housing.
Housing. Oh my gosh.
The crisis is extremely real. The shortage is bad here.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we moved here a couple years ago. Eric was looking online all the time, almost every night, even before we decided to move over here, looking at different areas, different just
big decision.
Yeah, different. I mean, because Rotterdam is huge, has all the different neighborhoods and whatnot. But we wanted something that was close to public transport, close to the train station, and I think that this apartment just fits the bill very nicely.
Bill, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely. There was a gentleman that we were talking to the other night, and he owns 3 rental properties, and I just happened to ask him, if one of your tenants falls off, how long is it going to take you to rent that particular property? And without batting an eye, he just basically said 1, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
So yes, the housing around here is difficult.
Yes.
My best advice to anybody right now, quite honestly, is rent before you get on over here.
Yes. Even if you haven't seen it in person, do that because you will not regret it. You can sign a year or whatever. Yeah. And then if you decide that you don't like it, doesn't fit your needs, then move on.
Exactly. The important thing is to go ahead and get something locked in. All too many times, quite honestly, we hear and we talk to people, I'm going to come on over, I'm going to rent an Airbnb, and then I'm going to look for a place when I'm over here.
Yeah, that's
a tough gig.
Right.
I quite honestly, and I'm being truthful, I don't think that that's going to really work out for you.
It would be very expensive because it won't just be for a month. It will be for several months, and it racks up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our apartment, it's small.
Yes, it is. It is small. Yes, and we have a very small kitchen with a very small refrigerator. One of the things that we found very difficult to get used to was the toilet room was separate from the bathroom or the showering room.
That seems to be pretty standard in the Netherlands.
Yeah. So in our bedroom, there's no closet, which was another thing. We have just a clothes hanging rack. Mm-hmm. What else? The stairs. We've talked about the stairs before, climbing the ladder up and down.
Borderline stairs ladder.
Yeah, and we do realize that there are bigger apartments and more modern apartments and what have you.
Yeah,
so this is just our experience and what
fit our budget,
found.
Fit our needs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So one of the main differences, and people should really realize, especially coming from the States to the Netherlands, is how they rent apartments here is different than how they rent apartments in the States. The States, they use credit checks, what your credit score is.
Right.
Everybody knows what their credit score is, or you should know what your credit score is in the United States. So, but here they want to have, what do they want to have?
3 months of paycheck stubs. And they want to see your working contract.
Yes. Yes.
And Yeah, I don't know exactly what else, but because we had to just show like our bank accounts, 401k statements,
savings and
showing that we had enough to support ourselves since we weren't working, you know,
exactly,
retired or whatever.
And everybody always asks us when we talk to them about this is who we rented from. Who did we rent from?
Just Stay Apartments. So they're
juststayapartments.nl. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and I'll just put him right up top here so you can see that. He's been very good to us, and we've had zero problems with him.
Right.
Zero problems.
With this company, yeah, right.
Yeah, so, and the other thing that I found very interesting about apartments here, and I made this note right here, is how they handle trash. There's local trash receptacles all over the place.
Right.
And you take your trash down, you put it in there, they come in. And if I have a video, I'm going to put it up there, I think. I'm going to look for it. But what the neat thing around here is, and this is how they do different around here, is if you have couches, furniture, lamps, or whatever that doesn't fit in there, they just go ahead and leave them on the side, and people will come around from the city and they pick the trash up and they put it in there. If you're lucky enough to walk by and see something, you can grab it and take it, like I did last night. So,
my goodness.
So I am telling you, I happened to score last night. I have it right here. Tammy's like, if he picks that thing up, I don't. But I got it. It's right here. We're going to do a separate video on it. I'm telling you, this is awesome. I love this thing. So I happened to walk by the trash, and there it was. So, but anyways.
Oh, boy.
Housing, very difficult, very real. Do your research ahead of time and try to secure something before you come over. Worst case scenario, you're stuck in an apartment that you really don't care for a year, but it's going to buy you time to look in different areas and to explore different areas on your own.
Right.
So you can see what they're like.
Yeah.
So.
For sure.
Let's move on to number 2.
Twee.
Yeah. Let's go. Hoi. What are we talking about?
Language.
We're talking about language.
Yeah, that's our next item.
Yeah, this is the one that, quite honestly, still find difficult. The Dutch language. It's not an easy language to learn, not by a long shot.
Yeah.
It's just really, really tough. There's a lot of. So, talking to our friend Percy the other day, he goes, when you do that, it sounds like you're throwing up. So,
yeah.
Bless him, I love him.
So on my list, I have that, we knew coming over here from vacations and whatnot that everyone mostly, for the most part, speaks English and speaks English well.
Yeah.
And we knew we couldn't count on that for too long. We had to start learning the language. But what my American mind didn't realize once we got over here to live, that everything is written in Dutch. And that was hard to get used to.
That is tough.
It was. It's better now. I think that I can much better understand reading Dutch than speaking it. So
it seems like you pick up, not you, but everybody picks up on a visual before speaking.
Yeah,
you recognize words. And
right. So that was a little bit difficult to get used to. We are learning. We're trying.
We are, and here's one of the problems. Like Tammy had touched upon, one of the problems is everybody speaks English over here, and as much as we want to learn our Dutch, they want to learn their English.
Well, they want to just show that they or have someone to speak English too.
Exactly. When we were trying to speak Dutch to somebody not too long ago, and he just interrupted us mid-sentence and goes, no, English. So
yeah, go ahead in English, I understand you. He just didn't want to hear us fumbling around.
Well, no, it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. But he wanted to practice his English too.
Yeah.
Everybody here is really willing to help.
Yes,
I mean, they are willing to help.
Yeah. And like one of our viewers, Paul, pointed out, ask them to just tell them that you're learning and ask them to speak slower.
Yeah.
Because we can understand certain words, but when it's being spoken so fast, we're not quite sure what the context is.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes when they speak, it's like, were those real words?
Yeah, it It's like, wow, okay.
So my best advice to anybody, if you're serious and you're going to come over or you know you're coming over, start early, start the language early. You are not going to master it. You're not.
Right.
But you are going to learn words that you need to know to communicate with people. Little shout out to Duolingo. Just jump on there and learn some words, learn some phrases.
Yeah.
Don't depend on them speaking English to you.
Right.
It gets a little awkward when we're around people and they do speak English and all of a sudden they flip to Dutch and they're having a conversation in Dutch around us. It's a little intimidating.
Yeah.
So, language, difficult. Difficult to learn, difficult to read, just difficult. So, but get a jump on it.
Get a jump on it. That's right.
Jump on it right now. Let's move on to number 2. Number 3.
Number 3.
Number what?
3.
Is that what it is?
3. It's hard to roll the R and 3.
That's what it's like around a Dubois household right now. Let's move on to number 3. All right, Miss Tammy Ann Dubois, speaking of which, somebody said to me the other day that the Dutch usually don't have middle names. I don't know if that's really true or not, but go ahead and comment.
Do you have a middle name if you're Dutch?
And why don't Dutch have middle names?
That's
Anyways,
a good question.
What are we talking about?
Medical situations.
Still getting used to that one.
Yeah.
Still getting used to that one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have had our fair share of experiences with this. Everything from the heart attack not too long ago to when I was here, I got really sick.
Well, yeah, after 2 months of being here, Eric got really sick. And we didn't have health insurance yet because we were still in the process of getting approved for our residence permit. So he got really sick. We didn't know what to do. To go to the emergency or to go to a doctor's office or what have you. And we were here during COVID too, so it made it that much more difficult because you just couldn't walk in anywhere.
Fortunately, we were able to land our hands on a miracle drug that just absolutely pretty much cures everything that you have going on with you. It's wonderful. What is it?
Broken arms, broken
arms, broken legs, broken heart.
Paracetamol.
Yeah. In the United States, that would be the equivalent to probably
Tylenol.
Yeah. So, they use paracetamol here. Paracetamol for everything around here.
Just about.
I don't care what it is. I could walk into the doctor's office with a gunshot wound right here. He's gonna tell me to take some of that and call him in the mornings if it gets any better.
Right. So once we finally did get in touch with somebody, she said, she took down the symptoms and then she said, I'll call you back.
And being from the States, my first thought was,
we're not
going to hear back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're not hearing back from her.
But she did call back.
She did.
She consulted with the doctor, and the doctor said to give him paracetamol.
Surprise.
Along with some ibuprofen.
Yeah.
And so in conjunction with each other, worked on different things that he was experiencing. Yeah. And in a couple days, you were better.
So one of the big differences in the States, you break a finger, you sprain an ankle, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. You have the ability, which most people do, to go on over to an urgent care.
Urgent care, right.
Which is like a semi-quasi emergency type thing.
Right.
Or you could go to the hospital, just drive yourself over there and they'll see you. Here, everything is really kind of done by appointment, or with a triage nurse that you would call. They'll take your symptoms. If you stab yourself in the foot and you're bleeding, she's going to go ahead and take all the information down.
Right, which we didn't really know that was the case until we asked Karen.
Exactly.
What happens if this,
Exactly, because they just don't take walk-ins at the hospital. It just doesn't happen. So these are just things that we are still, to a certain extent, just trying to get used to.
Yeah, and I think that we're doing a much better job.
Oh,
in the first, I wanted some Tylenol PM to help with the headache and help me to sleep. We walked into Crowdvot and they said, no, you probably should go to a pharmacy because they would be able to tell you what the equivalent would be, because they didn't have anything there.
there's a big aversion here to just in general selling anything over the counter that would make you drowsy or sleepy. The medicine you can buy or the over the counter you can buy in the States, and we did a thing on that, versus what you can get here are just night and day.
Well, yeah. As we know now, it's like everything was just to mask the problem in the States,
Yes,
mask it.
Absolutely. And I can honestly say this, we are better. I am better, healthier, because I don't take that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And I just feel better. But nevertheless, that's a different story for a different time.
Yeah.
The medical situation, still navigating that even a little bit.
Yeah.
But not difficult. But nevertheless.
Yeah, the doctors do house calls here.
Yeah, they do.
Anyways.
They do. Right. Absolutely. You want an appointment with a doctor? You got to call in and make an appointment with a doctor or anything else. Everything's done by appointment here. So let's go ahead. Let's move on to the next one and see what the next one has to hold for us. Should be interesting. All right. All right. So this next one, it took a little adjusting. Took a little getting used to.
Right.
And what are we talking about?
Holidays and holiday traditions.
Holidays. In the United States, we have, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Easter.
4th of July, Memorial Day, President's Day, whatever.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, Columbus Day.
Columbus Day, and the importance usually of the holidays in the United States, and everybody will always ask about, is the first thing anybody says in the United States is, do I get that off with pay? Do I have to work that day?
Yeah.
So, that's just the way it is. But what do we got here?
So, we had to get used to new holidays. And forget our old. Not forget, but we had to do. They have
behind us.
King's Day.
Love King's Day.
Yeah, Liberation Day, Ascension Day. They have Whit Sunday, Whit Monday, Christmas first and second days, and the Easter first and second days. Then you have, which is not a holiday, it's more of a tradition, is Sinterklaas.
Sinterklaas, gotta love Sinterklaas. Coming into town, has a story.
Yeah.
Last year it was his boat
got
sank or something along those lines there.
Yeah.
So Sinterklaas is great. Don't even really want to talk about Zwarte Piet.
But yet you just mentioned it.
Like poke the bear. Somebody once said, "Oh, you've done it now, man. You poked the bear."
Right.
So we're gonna leave Zwarte Piet out of this one.
Yes.
Holidays here, to me and for me, are great.
Yeah.
A lot of them are very family orientated.
Right.
When you have things, what was the one that they just had the other day? It was like 2 days ago. Carnival.
Oh, Carnival. Yeah.
So people really get into this. They get into all the holidays. I can remember, quite honestly, King's Day, our first King's Day here. Tammy bought me a orange shirt, and I was like, I'm not wearing that out there, man. I'm not going to be a fool. We went out, and it's like 95% of all people are dressed in orange. The whole city's out. Everybody's partying. Everybody's having a good. I love it. I mean, the whole city gets involved. It's great. Holidays here, fantastic.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
What what's the see, I got her, she's the wealth of knowledge. The shoes.
That's the Sinterklaas.
Oh my gosh, man. Okay. I'm getting it mixed up with a parade. Okay, so.
His in talk when he comes into town is a big deal. And then you leave the shoes out, December 5th. You leave shoes out, and then if you've been good, then his little Pete's come around, or he puts it. And I'm getting confused now too. So
that's okay.
Anyways, so see, we're still getting adjusted to it all.
Getting sidetracked. I guarantee you tonight we're going to be sitting on the couch going, tell me a little bit more about this.
Anyways, oh boy.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Holidays, again, there are some holidays that are best left behind. When we talk to people, when we first got here, we would talk to people and ask them, do you celebrate Halloween?
Oh,
and they would say something like, well, it's kind of creeping its way in and so forth. And that's unfortunate.
America, Yeah, right. Well, they have St. Martin's Day, which is November 11th, and the children will you take lanterns around and go door to door for those that have agreed to participate, and they sing for like a treat or a piece of fruit or something of that nature. So that's very sweet.
Yeah. You haven't lived until you see the kids around here just doing things and on field trips and whatnot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you haven't
awesome.
lived it. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
So let's move on
to number 5.
I was going to say, I think it's, what's the number?
5.
5? Not 5. 5.
5.
All right, let's move on. Let's see what it's all about. It's our last one, so check it out. All right, so our last one is, before we go into the last one.
Oh boy.
No, I just want to go back to the holiday thing.
Okay.
You haven't lived until you've seen fireworks on New Year's.
Oh my goodness.
Here in the Netherlands. It'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. And you people from the Netherlands, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
And it's more tame now than it was in the past. So
man, we're talking explosions. Okay.
Let's go on.
Let's move on.
It's literally a blast.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, what are we talking about?
We are talking about, I know, I'm looking down. Where's my notes? Business hours and days of operations.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, because we came from the society of convenience.
24/7.
Everything was open all the time.
You needed a banana or a toaster at 2 o'clock in the morning? Not a problem.
Yeah, you can go out and get one.
Easy, no problem. Here,
there are regular hours, which is nice actually.
Yeah.
It took some time to get used to, and but it's worked out for the best.
It's a much slower pace. It's a nicer pace. And when we first came here and we would talk to, maybe a couple of the owners of cafes or whatnot, you want to go and I would say, hey, if you hire a part-time person to go ahead and work these first 4 hours of the day that are non-busy instead of closing, you can make X amount of dollars and it'll look good on your spreadsheet bottom line. And they're looking at me like,
are you crazy?
Are you crazy? Why would I want to do that?
Right.
It's not all about the money here.
Right.
They're interested in making a profit.
Oh, yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure.
But it's more, it's nice because there's a greater sense of work-life balance.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
The way they handle vacations around. I don't want to get sidetracked.
It's just awesome. But it took some time to get used to. I looked up the other day, McDonald's doesn't open until 9 a.m. around here.
Wow.
Yeah, we're used to having it open like 24 hours at the drive-thru.
Exactly.
Which, wait, by the way, I don't even know.
I don't think they have drive-thrus here.
Yeah.
I
haven't
yet to see one. I have yet to see one. In the States, we're so used to just going through the drive-thru and eating on the run, especially fast food.
Yeah, even this like Starbucks has drive-thrus and whatnot. But
and she loves her Starbucks, that's for sure.
I used to.
What do you use now?
Nespresso. It's
Nespresso.
Much better. Yeah. So, but yeah, do they have drive-thrus around here?
Good question.
Let us know in the comments, please. Not that we have a car to drive through, but
We have definitely slowed our pace down now, and we're able to go ahead and we want to go someplace. First thing we do is we pick up our phone, look at it. They're closed on Mondays. They don't open till 5 o'clock. Whatever it might be.
Right.
So our whole way of life and pace have slowed down for the better.
Yes.
Much, much for the better.
Yeah.
So.
This one was, it was an adjustment for sure, especially in the beginning, but I think that now it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and when it became really, when I was sick, again, when I first got here, and I thought that I needed some medicine in the middle of the night or whatever, some paracetamol.
Yeah.
Everything was closed.
Yeah.
Everything was closed. So, there's pros and cons to this, but I'll tell you what, life is much better right now the way that it is with the stores closing.
We love our life here.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Just like.
So let's hope the IND approves our renewals.
We should be hearing any day, hopefully.
No, we don't. No, not until like October.
We'll hear
decision.
before October. We'll hear before October.
Hopefully.
Have faith.
Anyways.
Anyways, thank you.
If you've stuck around.
If you stuck around this long, thank you so much. If you want to actually know for sure what I pulled out of the trash, and it's, oh man, this is awesome. We're going to do a whole nother video on this one. We're going to do a whole video. I love it. There are just certain things that I really wanted. I never had one. Got one now.
Yes, you do.
So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Your
And
likes
if you don't
and
mind,
subscribes.
right, if you don't mind, can you go ahead and hit that like button? It sure would help to get our channel out there to different viewers.
Absolutely. If you're watching, hit the subscribe button, because you know what it costs to hit that subscribe button? Zero.
No.
Exactly.
No.
Hit that subscribe button. It certainly helps us out a whole lot. So
Helps our egos, I guess.
gosh, she's hitting below the belt today.
Thank you.
Do me a curveball.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead and hit right here,
Boop.
right there. Go ahead and hit Tammy right in the eye.
Yeah.
Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for everything from Soul to Soul Travels. We'll see you next time.
Tootsies.
Tootsings, how do, dooey.
Hoi hoi.
Hoi hoi. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye.